Hey everybody, Dr. Nick here on Feel Good Friday. Today I'm going to show you a way to add some high intensity interval cardio to your training, as well as improve the strength of your core, your hips, your knees, and even improve the mechanics of your feet. And it all starts with a band. So first I'm going to show you 2 exercises with the band, break down the technique, and then I'll show you how to make it into a high intensity interval cardio session. Okay, so the first exercise is a side step. Couple things you want to pay attention to with the side step. So I have the band wrapped around my ankles. That's going to be harder than if the band were around your knees. So I have it down to my ankles. If you put it on your ankles and you find it's too hard, you can try putting it up on your knees. Couple things you want to remember with the side step. So you want to get into a good, comfortable athletic stance. Okay, toes pointing straight ahead. And you want to step to the side like this. Okay, don't let your feet come together. Keep a good space in between. And don't let your toes point out. Okay, the tendency is going to want to be to point your toe out that you're stepping with. You want to keep that straight forward, okay? And from this way, the thing you want to think about is you don't want your back to arch or slouch. You don't want your head to be pushed forward. Keep everything in a nice neutral spine, okay? That's the first thing you do before you take any steps, is lock in that core. Second exercise is called a monster walk. So what's going to happen is you're going to take a step in a diagonal forward and forward and forward, and then backward and backward and backward. So here's what that looks like. What you want to remember here, very similar to the side step. You want to keep your core and your low back in a nice proper alignment. Don't let it arch, don't let it slouch, don't let your head drift forward. Also, be sure to keep your knees right over your toes the whole time. Don't let those knees cave in. The most important thing with the monster walk is that you squeeze your glutes as you step. So when I step forward with my left foot like this, I'm squeezing my right glute to push myself forward. And now I'm going to plant and use my left glute to now push forward. And now here I'm going to push forward. And when I go back, it's going to be just the opposite. So the leg that I step back with, I'm going to step back here, squeeze this glute to push back. Now I'm going to squeeze this glute to push back. And now I'm going to squeeze this one to push back. And again, remember, as you push that leg back, make sure your back doesn't arch. Keep that locked in. So how do we make this into a high-intensity interval cardio session?
So the way that I like to incorporate this type of exercise into my training is I use it as high-intensity interval cardio. So I'll usually start with side steps for about 30 seconds with 20 seconds rest, and then 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off. This I'm doing a side step suicide, I like to call it. So I start in the center, take 1 step to the right, and then back to the center, 1 step to the left, back to the center, then 2 steps to the right, back to the center, 2 steps to the left, back to the center, and so on. I'll also add in monster walks for time, so 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off, and those times are really just my own personal preference where it helps me really push and I feel a good burn at the same time. And then this is just a little added burnout that I like to do. It's called a star tap. It's 1 step to the outside, 1 step diagonally backward, and then 1 step diagonally forward. And it's just kind of a continuous finisher that I like to use at the end of my cardio.
So again, not only is this a great way to perform high-intensity interval cardio, it's also going to improve the health of your core, your hips, your knees, and even your feet. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.